You get a letter from Hogwarts that you are accepted as a student there.
You are very happy, even your parents support you to attend school there.
Finally, you were taken to take the train to Hogwarts. There, when you entered your room, you met with
and you chatted with him for a long time until you arrived at Hogwarts. At Hogwarts, the students looked at you and the other new kids. The headmaster of Hogwarts announced that now was the time for selection, which house would host the new students.
Your friend with you on the train was whispering to you about which house you should be in.
Still, before your friend finished whispering, your name has been called by one of the teachers at Hogwarts to come forward and be selected by the selection hat. Finally, you're put on the selection hat, and the hat mumbles a few sentences about which house you're going to be placed in.
But it turns out that the hat thinks you can choose it yourself because you are unique. So in the end, you decide to go into You are placed in the house of your choice.
There you make many new friends, even your friends who were in the same train car as you were also there. Days passed until one day, there was an election for a new principal for Hogwarts.
Elections are held democratically. You also think about helping one of the candidates to advance to become the new headmaster of Hogwarts. And you choose because the promotion you did was great. Many students and other teachers believed in the candidate you proposed. And in the end, the person you chose won the election, and was sworn in as the new headmaster.
The new headmaster is overjoyed with his victory, and he gives you one of the most precious gifts, which you must choose.
And you choose You end up getting that gift of your choice. Pretty cool.
And because you are the new principal's favorite student, you are given many privileges as a student at Hogwarts. Coupled with the talent you have, finally, you can quickly master a lot of magic. Days pass, and you are now in the final stages of Hogwarts. At that time, news circulated that Voldemort and Death Eater had risen and were gathering strength. You are asked by the new headmaster to be able to invite students to learn defense against black magic.
The headmaster asks you to choose the best magic defense teacher in your opinion.
The teacher will be the primary teacher to prepare for war with Voldemort and Death Eater.
With your sharp intuition and your good observation of the teachers at Hogwarts, you finally choose
After several weeks of training with your friends, the students at Hogwarts' ability to withstand witchcraft attacks has finally improved.
And you believe that Hogwarts is ready to take on Voldemort and his army. But suddenly, you were called back by the headmaster to come to his room.
The headmaster discusses with you that Voldemort cannot be defeated unless all his Horcruxes are destroyed. Because you are a student trusted by other students, you are asked to form several groups that will go on an adventure to find Horcruxes to destroy. You finally made several groups, and you chose to take on the task of destroying these Horcruxes. Finally, after the group's division to destroy the Horcruxes was complete, you announced it to the students.
They accepted the group division you proposed.
The students tasked with destroying the Horcruxes finally split up to carry out their duties. You and some of your friends finally went to look for Horcruxes. You got information that the Horcrux you were looking for was in a cave in the mountains.
The cave is in the mountains full of wild creatures.
Finally, you go with some of your friends there with potions and weapons. Arriving there, you find that the cave is a magical cave that only allows 2 people to enter it.
So, in the end, you have to choose only one of your friends to go with you into the cave.
while your other friends have to wait outside in case of the arrival of other beasts.
You and your friends enter the cave, and with a search spell, you can finally find the location of the Horcrux. It turned out that the Horcruxes were at the bottom of the river in the terrible cave. You finally decide to swim and dive to the bottom of the river while your friends wait above. You find the Horcrux, but when it is about to be lifted to the surface of the river, the Horcrux resists. But after struggling in the water, you can finally bring the Horcrux up. After you rise to the surface, it turns out that there are many Dementors and Inferi. You and your friends try to fight it, but there are too many of them. You panic and are confused about how to fight these creatures. Even your friend has fainted from being attacked by a Dementor. When you panic, you remember that you carry a port key in the form of a small pendant.
The headmaster tells you, when you can no longer fight against your enemies, you must shout at the locket and name a witch who is strong enough.
Then the wizard will automatically come through the port key and help you. So you call out the name of one of the powerful wizards you remember.
The wizard comes and helps you defeat all the Dementors and Inferiors with a considerable fire spell.
Until all these creatures disappeared from view. You finally came out of the cave with your friend and the wizard you summoned.
Because you were exhausted, you finally passed out, and your friends took you to Madame Pomfrey for treatment.
You fell asleep for a few days.
Suddenly you, still in the healing room, woke up to the sound of an explosion.
You saw a Death Eater coming into your room. You immediately got out of bed and took your magic wand from the drawer. You see, 2 Death Eaters are coming. One of them is blocked by your friend, and you must face the other alone. You fire the Sectum Sempra spell at your enemy, but he dodges it, and the spell only hits his mask. At that time, you can clearly see what you are fighting is.
You fight with the Death Eater fiercely, shot after shot of green and blue light clashing against each other.
The Death Eater attacks you with the Avada Kedavra spell, but you manage to roll sideways to dodge. And then you countered with the Reducto spell. Your attack hit your enemy with a landslide.
Until finally, your enemy bounces off and seems dead.
But when you try to approach it, your enemy suddenly turns into a black shadow and flies out of the window.
After seeing your enemy run away, you hear your friend whimper in pain.
You ran towards him, and saw your friend's neck covered in blood.
One of the Death Eaters apparently managed to attack your friend in a landslide.
Your friend, breathing hard. And you say with great difficulty that you must win this battle. You also saw your friend breathe his last.
You became angry and screamed so suddenly that an overflow of white light came out of your body. Your body feels full of magical power and ready to fight Voldemort and the Death Eaters.
You gripped your wand firmly and summoned your broomstick.
And you fly to the field outside to help the students fight Death Eaters, trolls, Dementors, and other monstrous creatures. The battle is fierce, but finally, you hear a loud bang.
And you saw in the middle of the field Voldemort fell. He was apparently defeated by the headmaster.
And all the Death Eaters and terrible creatures that attacked finally stopped their attacks and fled, running here and there because they saw their lord died. The war is over, and the Ministry of Magic comes and awards to all who have fought to defeat Voldemort and his troops.
You and many of your friends were awarded badges for this. You're so happy that it's all over.
But there is still one thing you are thinking about, your next plan after graduating from Hogwarts. So when the victory celebration party was in progress, you boldly approached the Minister of Magic to ask for a job as
Of course, your request was granted, and you are very happy about it. And from there, your new adventure will begin.